Hey, Kisses from Kenya is produced by Democrats Abroad Kenya, but everything you hear in this podcast reflects our personal perspectives as, as Americans living in Kenya.
Yes, nothing we say should be taken as the official stance of Democrats Abroad Kenya, Democrats Abroad Global, or the Democratic Party. This is an entertainment space and not an official policy platform.
Thank you.
All right, y'all, welcome to Kisses from Kenya, the podcast that proves that you can be visible and invisible at the same time. Bad bitches at the same time.
Oh, gosh. And I am Vuyanzi, counting votes, counting blessings, and wondering if anyone up north, and I'll tell you where that is in a moment, because I just found out where the north was.
That could be our funny thing for me.
Here's us at all.
You know.
The more you know. Yes, that was PBS, right?
No, was it PBS or Reading Rainbow?
No,
it was PBS.
It was PBS on the whole. I love PBS. I love NPR. I'm all about the public things.
That's why we're here.
Okay.
But do you want to tell them about your learning moment?
Yeah, because apparently Brendan was saying something about the global north and the global south. I'm here thinking like, okay, Egypt? I don't know what is what is the south.
Well,
and every time you
they
say,
might agree with that.
Well, yeah. The south, I'm thinking Louisiana. I didn't know what this was. And then Brendan just explained to me what global north and global south are. I won't say it in the very sexy words you did, so please explain. Mansplain.
What did I say?
Mansplain. I'm inviting you to mansplain.
Vuyanzi Rodman setting us back 10 decades. You heard it here first.
Wait a minute. Can I just say something about that? I recently, a few months ago, we went on our Democrats Abroad walk. And so we were trying to figure out the way back. It was like, the left or the right? And this is a small group of us. And this one guy who happens to be very handsome, you know who that tall glass of water is. Okay. So anyway, there's a lady walking. He's like, I think you turn right, let's say. And everyone's like, oh, no, I think it's left. This one lady in the group says, well, he's a man. So I'm told I'm supposed to listen to what a man says. So I'm just going to trust whatever he says. And I know some of our colleagues were there and they were like, you just set us back? Like, number one, he's saying the wrong information and you just set us back decades. Okay, anyway, yes. So I'm sorry. Brendan, would you like to explain what the global north and global south are? I thought it was really interesting.
So, I mean, it was just like, and y'all, please correct me if I'm wrong, because I might be mansplaining and be wrong, which is usually also the case, but
I think it's
not even just about me, about mansplaining in general. There's like a 90% chance that like whatever is being mansplained is incorrect.
It's not right.
But we just have like audacity and abundance. So
isn't that something? Yeah, that's a whole different episode too, by the way.
So the idea was like, you know, because traditionally like when we were kids, like the phrases were first world and third world, and then you had like second world.
It's amazing how you're saying when we're kids, and I still am around people using it in 2025. And I say developing country.
Well, so then like the replacement to that was like, you know, the developed world and like developing countries. And then at some point, I mean, I think it must be in like the last 15 years or so, because I feel like this came about after I graduated from uni. So but there was this idea of like even that's like a bit pedantic, because it's like you're still like focusing so much on like the haves and the have-nots aspect of it. Yeah. And so for a while, people were talking about like Western countries, but then something that kind of came out also in response to that was like really like when you're talking about this kind of divide, like you have countries like China or Russia or like really most of like Southeast Asia, which like are, you know, developed to like use the old terminology. And so people started thinking about like what is a way that we could better draw this distinction. And so this idea of like the global north, since like almost all of those countries are in the northern hemisphere, we talked about Australia being like the exception, but they're also like a settler colony. So sorry, Australians.
With prisoners.
But not sorry.
Prisoners. The truth. Sorry for the truth. I don't know.
But yeah, that was just kind of like I think like a newer way to talk about the global dynamics. And it's like a little less focused on like who has what.
So the global north are those formerly what we call developed countries.
Yeah, or like industrialized nations.
Okay, I love industrialized. And the global south would be those developing nations.
In the old, yeah.
Well, but what we really, consider
like
under that.
When you think about like South America, Central America, Africa nations, like the parts of Asia that sit below, so like Indonesia, like those kind of areas in the API region, but or not API region, API are people in the Asia Pacific region.
Okay.
See, I also am problematic when
yeah, and actually, there's even another something. APUC. Okay, anyway, but yeah. So even though for some of us our Wi-Fi is better, and here there's M-Pesa, a mobile wallets here that America, for instance, doesn't even know or understand. But hey, okay, fine. For the sake of what we're talking about, yes. So,
well, that I think is an interesting segue into this week's episode of Whose America Is It Anyway?
This land is my land. This land is your land. Okay.
Unless you're black, brown, or indigenous. But...
Basically. But who's keeping track?
So this week, the headlines that I was looking at, they're really about, my people. The LGBTQ.
Oh, that sounds French. LGBTQ.
That's usually because we're doing a lot of tongue action. So interesting. We're kind of in this space now where I was finding a lot of articles that are talking about this idea that the global north actually, the spirits are back.
Holy Spirit.
I don't know if y'all can see this, but when we talk about certain things, usually when we're getting
that's the Holy Spirit.
I'm not really clear that you were still clapping a tambourine.
It's a whole thing. Like you can see, it's like somehow. Okay. Anyway, go ahead. Yes.
But yeah, so this idea that even within the LGBTQ AI plus community, there's also these same dynamics, right? Which historically, there's been a lot of also saviorism that happens within the queer community, right? Because it's this idea of the Africans don't know what they're doing, right? And so one of these articles is talking about how the global north's approach to LGBTI rights in Africa doesn't work, which I think is probably true, mainly because so much of it has always been this is what we did in our country, so just do the same thing.
That whole idea is very pervasive, right? We did it like this, so besides your culture, your anything, we're just gonna still bring this to you the way we did it, just do it that way. And it works, but that's not the case.
But I find it hilarious, when you look at a country like Kenya, for instance, which has a constitution that was put in place in 2010, so less than 15 years ago.
You can meet the writers of the constitution at bars. You just bump into them.
And so it's how are you, especially as Americans, it's how, I feel people be looking at us y'all got a old rag. They're going to flame me on the internet for this. Y'all got an old rag from 1776. That y'all are using as the framework to make.
He was trying to roll it out, trying not for it to
disintegrate. Hey, you gonna come over here and tell me this how I gotta do? You don't run this.
Let me tell you. When we say it right, because when it's in our minds and people are enacting it as we do it every day, it seems it's almost it's okay. Yeah. Do what we do. We got this. But it's wait a minute.
Well, what I found so interesting was we had our learning session last night, the virtual one about land rights, and so we had two Kenyans who came to speak about the history of like the fight for indigenous land rights in Kenya, and it's like even like in the course of the discussion, like I was like making all these connections in my head as I'm like listening to them talk, because like a few of the questions I asked were like like what advice would you have for Americans on like how to fix this, because like we haven't had any major improvement on indigenous land reparations or wholeness in the U.S. in like probably the better part of a century. So
yeah.
And like both of them were just like, I don't really know what to tell you, because it's like here, like when our Constitution wasn't working, we made a new one. And I was like, I hadn't really stopped to think like, I mean, aside from everything else, I was just sitting there and I was like, what would it be like if we could actually just like press reboot?
Like, and it's so simple yet so profound.
Yeah, because like all of a sudden you're not constrained by this like framework that's been there since like people still own people.
I was literally going to say enslavement. Like we could not even. First of all, we'd probably be dead with our mouths. Really, our mouths and our attitude.
Absolutely be in the stockade in the middle of the square.
No, I would have been killed. Gone.
I mean, they would have been looking at me like, "Well, we gonna have to hang you because like, we give you the last one. You don't like it."
Wow. Although that is the United States Constitution. Holy smoke.
Right?
The same thing that said what blacks were 1/3 or what was it of a human being.
Well, I mean,
what
the
is this?
thing is like,
what is this? Sorry.
There are aspects of our Constitution. I mean, now we're getting into a whole other discussion, but Obama was a constitutional scholar, so I think he'd enjoy this.
If he's watching,
hey. Send him pesa.
07. And he probably knows what M-Pesa is. Okay.
Come back to the motherland. I mean, there's just this. I think there are things to be said for the fact that I think because context aside, I do think that like the American Constitution was written in a way that's like actually like relatively simple, right? Like a lot of it is just like very broad principles, which then have been used to like then frame up very specific laws ever since then. So there is like part of me that's like I can see like the benefit of that, but like also the detriment is that like whoever is making the laws at the time is able to interpret those things however the way they want to.
Yeah.
Whereas like you look at a place like South Africa where in their constitution, like in the constitution that they instituted at the end of apartheid, like for instance, like equal protections, like for LGBTQ people specifically, are spelled out in the constitution, right? And so it's like even though LGBT rights might not be the most popular thing at the moment, like y'all stuck with them.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Even thinking about like a constitution reboot, if you will, you can keep those principles that are still applicable today.
Yeah.
And then you can adapt. Like, what's the problem with modernizing it? And it's not about being modern, but meet the needs of what is going on today and still keeping like free speech and, certain things like that. Maybe revisit the 13th amendment, because with jailing and imprisonment.
But that's the Bill of Rights. So you're already out of the Constitution at that point. Like most of the rights that we actually like enjoy are actually in the Bill of Rights, not in the,
yeah.
Because one of the things that they decide, like because the Bill of Rights came within like 50 years after the Constitution was framed, but that's part of that's because even the original Federalists at some point were like, we might have given you all a little too much room for interpretation.
Let's just kind of say,
because imagine a world in which like, but I guess the flip side of it, and like the thing that a lot of times people use as a fear-based tactic to like fight against that is like, imagine if in the current administration they were going to reboot the Constitution.
It's bad enough the Supreme Court justices who gets appointed, who's the majority of the appointees, and how they stay there for life. That could be a whole different episode. What is that about? Let's keep going, because I feel like by the end of some of these talks, my blood pressure.
Why do we go into the darkness?
Seriously,
about?
pull me out! Pull me out!
Imagine we're Americans. Whenever we talk about America, we go straight in. Usually, I like going in the gutter, but
This is not the type of gutter we want to be in.
Well, so today we were talking about this idea of erasure in identity, visibility, and invisibility. I'm curious to. I know I have something I want to talk about, but I'm curious to hear from you. Because I think the reason I had dropped this in here, just looking at the notes I have here, is like there was something that we had talked about where like you were talking about, as a Black American living in Africa, but then being in like global spaces with other activists, like this idea of like how your experience is interpreted by your fellow people back in the North. Back up north.
Oh, in the North, right. I really have to get used to this saying. I'm like, up north. What was I doing?
Like, in the old time, that was the place to be.
It was, but my brain is shifting.
Was like very that used to be where
but now we want to be in the South. Okay, fine. Fine.
I mean, even the U.S., like, despite everything, I'd rather be in the South. The food is better.
The food is better, especially Louisiana.
I mean,
goodness gracious.
It's like, again, if we could just reboot the government.
Oh my gosh. Wait, can we just digress for a minute just about food?
I'm cooking gumbo on Sunday, by the way.
Oh.
If you want to come by.
Oh. Okay.
Are you vegetarian?
No, but I'll come by. I'm looking at them like.
I'm making some chicken and okra gumbo, some mac cheese.
Okra?
Some collard greens.
Oh my God. Okay, this is a thing. The food in the South is hella better in the United States, in the southern region of the United States.
I mean, and specifically in the southern region of the world as well. Like, I mean, look at who they got down here, and look who they got like.
So, but
you want some cheese on some bread.
In New Orleans, though, specifically, it was the first time I ever had, what was it? Like grilled oysters.
Char-grilled oysters, yeah.
With
the garlic.
Butter, with the garlic and the butter. And then we had this crusty bread. Yeah. I had never had that except for in New Orleans. And then the po' boy sandwiches and just the food. And then you could walk around drinking alcohol and it's legal.
Girl, there's a reason why every time I go home, like I literally it's like I feel like I have to like put on my waist beads before I leave, so that I have like a sign that's like stop.
The food is
drop
so good.
The spoon. No more etouffee for you, baby.
Oh God. Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm a food person, but I'm sorry, what were we talking? Okay, so my experience, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to need you to ask the question again. So sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, I think it's like this idea that I think for both of us, like you wind up like you're in a place that's not home, like you're here in Kenya, which, there's a whole experience of interacting with people here. But then there's also an experience of interacting with people from back home while here, and the way that they think about and talk about your experience while here. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and I think that goes back to, and it's something that I think will come up often when we talk about something like this, is that I live in Africa.
Yeah.
It's
Africa as a country.
Right. And even though, let's say they know it's not, but I don't even think people are understanding the
depth people use first.
Exactly. A continent of 54 nations. Yeah. One of them, I mean, and the way you actually,
within each nation, different regions are also
different regions, different regions, different languages, different people. Yet it's still this idea when I speak to people that it's like a very like a monolithic. Yeah. Anything with the MO.
You always,
not
we ain't got that.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
She is available though. I think.
I am. I'm smiling when you say
it. Look at the material.
Okay, I'm sorry, yes.
But there's also like I always get that there's like that it's like both like in the way that people speak, even like their body language. Like it's like, so what's it like out there?
What? One person, and maybe I've said this, I'm sorry.
Like, where out there?
Someone's like, I thought I was going to see, because I remember I was living on a building and I just kind of took the camera. This was like a teacher or whatever. And I probably told this story, and I'll always say it because it really surprised me. And I showed her, I was like, oh, this is one of the things. She's like, oh. And she saw buildings. Yeah. She's like, oh, I guess I was expecting to see huts.
Oh, girl.
So even how people come. So I will say this story. I'm thinking about this. At my church, there were some young white missionaries from America who came. So I go to a very local church. You know, many times they don't speak in Kiswahili because they're like, oh, Vuyanzi's here. Like literally from the pulpit, they're like, oh, we're sorry, Vuyanzi's here. Like literally they do that. So I'm saying hi to these people as they come in because, you know, we're greeting people. And one's like, your accent. I'm just like, I'm from New Jersey and New York. That's the accent. They're like, oh, I was wondering how you spoke English. So
the missionary?
Yes, yes, sir. The missionaries came to visit. They were there for like a week.
What kind of church do you go to?
It's a non-denominational church.
Okay.
Yeah, but like they were the one. Maybe the others were too, but there was one who vocalized.
Yeah. She
didn't like. I was speaking like that. Why?
Yeah.
So
I have this. I think like in spaces there, I think that a lot of times what I find is like there's always like a layered assumption of like poverty, right?
You think?
Like, especially if I go to church in the U.S., there's often like it's always like, oh, is there like a project that we can help you with? Do they have water?
Sorry,
and I'm like, well, depending on where you go, no, but like, why is it the first thing that comes to mind?
Isn't
it like
something?
That you need to intervene and help?
Yes, and in not in even a way that.
To be clear, do like send dollars. Yeah, like that is part of the global reparation structure. However,
yeah, okay.
Can you do it silently without like asking me all these questions?
Yeah. Over there, or, like, out there.
Can I narrate my experience to you first before you like put your expectations on me?
And it is, yeah. This is, and even I've had some friends who are just not interested in coming because of mindset.
Well, we talked about the whole issue with like, you know, my experience of like queer people there, like imposing their expectations on me here.
Yeah.
I think the thing I was thinking about when we were getting ready for today's episode was like, I'm also experiencing like a little bit of the flip right now. Cause like, you know, I'm part of the Rotary Club, which, you know, is like an international organization. You know, of course I'm in the Kenyan Rotary Club. So I think I'm the only non-Kenyan in my club.
Okay.
I mean, no, we have a couple of folks from like Uganda or like other African countries.
Okay.
I'm definitely the only like. Well, I'm the only white for sure.
Right.
Like, you know, in all the group photos I stand out, but not even just like not even in my club. It's like I'm experiencing this issue within Rotary where it's like, you know, I'm very visibly myself all the time.
Yeah.
You know, like I show
absolutely
up in spaces and places as me. In part because there's some of this that I just can't hide.
Yeah.
But also like, you know, I've just reached the age where I'm like, y'all ain't gonna put me in the box now. It's like when we were talking about like you can't just diminish me.
Yes, we can't remember the song, right?
but like I'm in a space at this point where like, you know, also because like people tend to be not so direct. Not directly to my face, but through other channels. Like I'm getting information that like people are not necessarily so comfortable with like me being my full self. And what I find fascinating about it is like, you know, if I like raise a bunch of my, you know, like I raised 500,000 shillings when I did my Mount Kenya climb. For, like,
were they uncomfortable with that?
No.
Did they say we won't take your gay money?
It's like your check looks a little too fruity, so we're gonna send it back.
No,
like that's never a problem. Or it's like, you know, if I'm in a space where, you know, because of the other aspects of my identity, especially like the white maleness, like it gets access to certain things or access to people's ears, things like that. It's not a problem. But it's like, when I sent out my birthday invite, apparently it caused some ruffling of feathers because I photoshopped my face onto like a woman.
I didn't get a birthday invite this year.
You
did. Did I?
Yeah, it was blue ticked and was not responded to. So anyway, that's what they were dealing.
Sorry, I gotta check.
Unlike the people in the Rotary Club, I am not indirect. So.
Oh,
she shaded me.
No, okay, because I wanted to go.
One.
Oh yes, I want to go. You know what the problem is? If I read a message early in the morning, it's like another day. I don't know if that's age.
No, it's fine. They're like, I can't even tell you how often I am searching for someone in my WhatsApp contacts, and the conversation comes up, and the last message is one from them that I replied to in my head, but clearly either typed and didn't have.
And you just left them hanging. Blue ticked them. You blue ticked them and left.
I can admit when I'm the problem. Okay.
Okay.
I'm like, y'all got all these other AI features. Y'all can't do what Google does, where it's like you haven't responded to this.
Oh, I love that. Exactly. Why can't? I'm sure WhatsApp is working on it. Okay. By the shame. Oh my God.
They're owned by mediocre white men. But anyway.
Who's always listening to me, by the way. Oh, why do all these ads come up exactly?
You see the little light just came on your phone. They she talking about us again.
I know.
Get her.
I know.
Get her.
Know.
Reporter. Anyway.
Okay. Oh, are we going to talk about some joy?
Joy.
I was going to joy. Okay. All right. So I'd love to share. Well, actually, do you want to share your joy first?
No, I shared first last time.
Oh, okay. So my black joy.
I try to alternate them.
Okay. All right. So my black joy. Okay. So here's an initiative in my life. It's like Operation Deprioritize Nightlife. Okay. Why? Number one, I like my sleep.
Because you already said you don't function in the morning.
You know, that's let me tell you, I don't have to be doing anything.
2 steps from the home, y'all. Get her a bed ready.
So I want to be out during the day.
We said she's available. So if you're also a good caretaker.
Wait, you said a caretaker. I can't.
We might be able to overlook some of
Okay. Oh, please.
Sunbathing is part of
Yes. Thanksgiving coming to America.
You can talk about that like it's a bad thing. If you want to sponge me down in a bucket, look, fill it up right there, baby.
Okay, everyone. Right. Okay, here's. Oh God.
My ADHD is diagnosed. I don't know about hers, but.
It's undiagnosed, but it's there. It's there. Oh Lord. Oh, that's what's happening. Someone's texting me. Okay. So, deprioritizing nightlife because I love my sleep. And even right now, believe it or not, I've been on an alcohol fast for a couple of months since August 24th.
That's amazing.
It is. I don't know how long it'll last. By the time this is aired, I don't know if I'll still be on it. However, I get clarity. And so I'm like, you know what? I love it when the sun is shining. I love to be out and about. So let me be out. So last Saturday, I go spinning at 8 a.m. So that's my regular thing. Okay. Spinning at 8 a.m. Saturday morning. I took a shower there. I had coffee there with some of the spin folks. And then from there, I met someone else for coffee. And then I went to a festival. Then as I was walking in the festival, someone called me and said, "Hey, I see you walking down the street. Come meet us." I went to the festival for a minute. I was out from all day. Mm-hmm. And then I went home and took a shower, and then I still went out at night. But where is
the deprioritization?
Because the spin people invited me out. But here's the thing. I was out all throughout the day. The sun was there. It was on my skin. It felt good. I felt clear. I met new people.
How did you feel on Sunday?
I felt good. I was the first one in church. Amen. I was the first one in church.
What time does church start?
11. the first one up in there.
She's like, let me go get my blessing.
Okay. Okay, your joy, please.
So my queer joy is I got taken on a date.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to hear the story. I just need to sidebar and say that this lotion has my legs shining. I wish they could see how my legs are shining from the cocoa butter.
Well,
they look so good.
Give up a coochie shot.
Okay, you can see. I tried to give you the. Okay, anyway, yes. Please tell me about this date.
If you would like to sponsor us, our information is down below. Like between Obama and Palmer, somebody got to come for us. We ain't got no money, y'all. Which is why I was so excited to get taken on a date.
Okay, yes.
Who also didn't have any money.
Yeah. Oh, ooh. Okay. Talk about the date.
I appreciate a man who gets creative when he wants to be a little romantic. Okay, so you know, this is a man. He's not Kenyan. He's from the Sudan.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, they're good-looking people.
So he like invited me out, and I was kind of like, I don't really know what's going on. So, but like, okay, like, so like to be clear, like this was somebody that was like originally like a bedroom meet, you know.
Oh, we know, we understand.
So, you know, invited me out. He's like, oh, you know, come meet me like at this like Sudanese restaurant. And I was like, you know, like we already talked about we love food. We talk like. We going for food?
Like, yes.
Y'all got seasoned food? Okay, come on. Okay, let's go. So I arrive, and it turns out that he like works at the restaurant. Which like at first I was kind of like.
So was he working that night?
So he was like working, but it was like a Saturday, like in like the late afternoon. So it was like there wasn't anybody there, and he works in the kitchen. So like
you were on a work date?
No, but listen.
Wait, I'm judging.
Listen. So, but like what I appreciate, like again, because it's like if you can't like necessarily take me out, he was like, "Well, I'm gonna take you in." So,
who says that? Nobody says. Wait, but did you know ahead of time that he worked there, or you got there and got surprised?
I figured I was there, right, but it was fine.
Okay.
Well, so the thing is, like all the like little girls that he works with were all like, "Ooh," like it was cute. You know, it's like, and it's like in this, like I'll take you there actually sometime. Like, the food is good. It's cute. Like, it's well decorated.
Oh, I would love to go.
It's in the back of one of them little malls. You know, so it's like,
yeah,
everyone in the mall is like, you know, mostly like from another country. So you got like a lot of Ethiopians, and Sudanese, there's like all this different stuff going on.
Yeah.
So we in the back at the Sudanese restaurant. You know, he brings out this big old platter with like all these different stews on it.
Oh my gosh!
And then like they eat. Like it's similar to the injera, but it's different. Like, it's not as thick. It's like a little thinner.
Ooh.
It's almost like the kind of how like almost like a crepe kind of thickness, but it's still springy.
It sounds good.
And they also eat like this. It's like this puffy bread. That's almost like a puffier version of like a pita, or you know, like when you get like a really fresh pita, how it like puffs up.
Yeah.
It's like that. So they use both of those, but like certain things for certain.
Oh, you got to understand the whole thing.
So he's doing the whole thing, like give me the whole explanation. Then we have some Sudanese coffee that they like bring out.
Oh my gosh,
and then, like,
this sounds
some
beautiful.
Fresh juice, baobab juice. I've never had baobab juice before.
No, I didn't know you could make juice from
delicious.
It. I use it on my skin.
And then like he's like, oh, you know, like let me take you down like to some of these other places.
Okay.
Because like it wasn't that busy, right? So they were like basically he had gotten permission already to like spend time with me while I was there.
Okay, he got permission to be on the date.
Well, you'd be there 12 hours a day. They could give him an hour. Anyway,
okay.
So he takes me like the little falafel guy and like get my little fresh like falafels from this other Sudanese guy.
You have to take me to this place,
and then
by the way.
He takes me out the way. So the thing that I didn't know, well, he had brought me some the first time we met, but we're talking about food still.
Oh, okay. Okay, yes.
So he had brought me some Sudanese people also make baklava.
Ooh, I'd love to taste that.
And so he had brought me some the first time, so I knew it existed, but he like took me to the baklava shop where it's like, you know, you can pick the different stuff you want, and it's like the kind where it's like completely like drenched in that like sugar syrup, you know, so it's like they pick it up.
Do they deliver? Like, I would think I want to order from there tonight.
I think delivery.
Okay, that's
I'll send you the details.
Yeah.
So then he takes me to the Ethiopian place on the other side of the little mall where like his little like work wife is, and so like she's like serving us like Ethiopian coffee.
Yeah, this
and
sounds
then we go like,
nice.
back to the other place. You know, I had to take a little Zoom call real quick with one of my little mentees.
Okay.
And then like he's like, let me know when you're done. Like he's like, I'll go do some stuff. So he comes back with this fruit salad, and it's like this in this big bowl, like covered in the syrup. Like
you were getting fed. You were getting fed.
Fantastic. So yeah, I was like, I haven't like it, like you know, like I mean, I think I bought like a little bag of falafel and I bought some baklava to take home, but like I haven't been taken out and wined and dined by a man in a minute.
Oh my! So, you were dying. Yes. Were your stomach like this big by the time you were done?
I mean, no, because you know I still have things to do later. But now, but which brings me to our last segment, which is the Culture Clash Hotline. I need to tell you about the Culture Clash that happened on the back end of all this. So
this was so good. He's gonna ruin it for us now.
No, all that was fabulous. No, it's not ruining. It's because Culture Clash is all about like just different expectations. It doesn't have to be ruined. But so, okay. So you know, I am still a consummate American in some ways, and despite the fact that most of my American friends will tell you timeliness was never one of my like best attributes, I know how to be timely when I need to be.
Okay.
You know, there are certain things that are not flights that I can still treat like a flight, if you get what I mean. Right? It's like when I know there's like logistics involved, and especially if it means I can avoid sitting in traffic, I'm gonna be on time. So all this was on Saturday. So you know, after he got off work, he came over, spent the night. So in the morning, like so, he was gonna leave. I had another friend who was coming, who was gonna go with me because I needed to leave to go to Nanyuki, and I had a plus one, right? So I have carefully orchestrated all these logistics, right? Because it's like, you know, I need to leave my house by 9. So the one who's coming, I told 9, like we're leaving. I told this one 9, we're leaving. You know, I have to go and pick up one of my friends because I'm taking her with me to go look at this apartment that I might buy. So I'm like, I'm telling her, like she's in Parkland. So I'm like, I will be there by 9:30 so we can be on time to the apartment at 10. And then we got to leave on the road to go to Nanyuki by 11 because I am driving in nobody's dark on the back road. So right. All of this has been sorted out, right? Would you believe, like, first of all, like, it's like 8 something. The one who's coming is like texting me like, oh, like I'm not in town yet, but I'm like on my way. So you know, I'm already over there, like kind of heated.
Yeah.
Like I'm like ready to go. Like I got my bags packed. Everything is like, and I'm just like, you know, making coffee, making a little breakfast, you know, for this one and maybe a little bit for the other one too. Which is they both know about this, by the way.
Yeah, because I mean, you're not committed. There's no commitment.
Well, and at one point, all 3 of us might have been together. So, like, it's like 9:15.
Where are you? Please tell me you're in a car.
Right I'm still in this apartment. Oh, goodness. So, all of it is like fine. Like, because to be clear, like, I am aware and self-aware enough to like build in some extra buffer time, right? Because it's like really, like, we had to be out the door by like 9:30-ish. You know, but it's like I'm just telling everyone everything is like zoomed up a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's the same way that
because you already know.
Because I'm also habitually late, but it's not one of these things. So,
meanwhile, I'm late all the time for these, but he's on time.
I'll be over here working on other stuff. It's fine. I'm like, let me get ahead on some of my other stuff. But so everything about it was fine, right? Because like I said, I like worked in some extra time. It's fine. Until this man, like, you know, I've made breakfast.
Yeah.
You know, it's here on the table.
Yes.
You know, I've made coffee, you know, to the specifications that were requested, everything.
The specifications?
You know, like sweetened, non-sweetened.
Okay,
like
fine. Okay. Yes.
This man had the audacity, the unadulterated and unmitigated gall to pass the coffee mug to me and be like, oh, can you warm this for me? It's cold.
So how did you
I
feel?
lost my shit because I was like, what about me that mine was unclear? I'm already being flexible as I can be.
Wait a minute. I was like, what's happened? Okay.
Look, now the spirits are going in the other direction.
I know.
I'm over here shouting.
What did you really say this to him? Did you say something about this?
Well, I was like, so when I said we need to leave at 9, and you're looking at your watch and it's like almost 9:20, and you're asking me to do additional tasks that require time. I'm just trying to understand the logical sequence that we're
Sorry.
And he was like, well, I didn't realize that you really meant 9. And I was like, look at me.
Look at this stuff packed.
Everything is sitting next to the door, grab and go status. You even saw me putting coffee into a to-go.
What about those cues, those social cues? Did you not understand? Anyway. Okay, so
everything was fine. I mean, at the end of the day, later on, he was just actually unprompted, he was like, I just wanted to apologize. I feel so. I think it was culture clash on both sides because I think there were assumptions made on both sides.
Yes, about, especially if he said, I didn't know you meant,
and what time does what time mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But I was in the future.
I was about to say, will he be back? That's what I wanted to ask. Will he be back?
If he go show up with some baklava, then he could do whatever he wants.
Okay, good. Okay, so we'll wait to hear part 2, or maybe really it's a part 3 about this guy. But anyway, I love that. That's hysterical.
I mean, and to be clear, the other one was late too.
Yeah.
But I feel like what made it extra stressful was my friend that we were going to pick up is also very timely.
So she's just sitting there waiting.
She's Kenyan, but she's timely.
Yeah.
So, 2 people are thinking Kenyan time, one person is thinking American time, and one person is thinking American Kenyan time. So there was just a lot of mixed expectations. And then the poor girl who was going out, come and open the apartment was well, she wound up being late anyway.
Maybe that should be a whole different
time.
Yeah.
The concept of time. Is it relative? I mean,
what is
Einstein
that?
Says, yeah. Lived experience also would agree.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and it's important, right? Because you want to value a person's time. So yeah.
We could definitely talk about this in another one because I probably exploded on 18 different people this week about time. But anyway, that is our episode for today. And we went way over time. Speaking of time.
I know. We're going to have to get a lot of this on the cutting floor, especially me coughing. I don't know what's happening over there.
But at the end of the day,
we may be far from home, but our voices echo across oceans.
Even if the mic sometimes pointed in the wrong direction. So, we hope you'll join us for the next one.
This has been Kisses from Kenya.
And if you have submissions for anything or feedback or anything, please send it to us. You can find our contacts on the page. You can also comment on these videos.
Yeah, please comment.
And especially Culture Clash. That's one we'd love to hear from you guys. What's a culture clash that you've experienced? Could be in or out of the bedroom.
But it's more fun to hear the stories in.
Exactly. Anyway, thanks, y'all. See you next time.